everyone. It's around 8:30 in the morning while on the East Coast while I'm making this video. Having some coffee and decided really wanted to make another movie about the cat's down here. A Diesel. Yes, you coming up? You coming up? Yes, you can see him. I wanted to make a video about more Dollar Tree finds and some other stuff going on. Coffee, I'll put the, ooh, would you like some? So, first things first, I want to thank everyone who subscribed to the channel and watched the last video. It was very successful. At least, let me move some of these movies so the D's Meister can jump up here. Come on, come on. He's like now the official mascot of this channel. Come on, it's okay. He'll come up. There he is. There he is, the official mascot. Diesel, say hi to all the people, Diesel. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, a big thank you. And if you're new to this channel, feel free to subscribe and click the notification bell and all that good stuff. And that was the first thing. The second thing is, I mean, unless you're living under a rock, you have, he's going to eat the bag, I think. You've probably heard about HBO Max and how Warner Media is going to shove all of their full slate of movies onto HBO Max for 2021. Well, this is very, very interesting stuff going on, and I've aggregated some information. I've kind of, you know, I've looked at people who have insider information, like Heath over at Serial Midnight and Midnight's Edge, and there's a lot of information out there, and seems like there's been a lot of bad decisions, I think, at Warner Media and with HBO Max. You know, we know that this really will affect us as physical media enthusiasts. As I hate the term hobbyist. Right? I hate hobbies. I don't believe in hobbies. What I believe in is passion. But you know, passion, interests. That's what I hate the term hobby, but I'll use hobby because most people use that term. Stop saying Dave. It's too early, right? What's happening seems to be, it has, the reason Warner is doing this, it has nothing to do with COVID-19 and people being locked down and the movie theaters being closed. What it has to do with, from what I've heard, is that they need to make HBO Max profitable. They want it to compete with Netflix. There you go. They want it to compete with Netflix and with what's the other one? Netflix. No, and Disney Plus. Disney Plus supposedly has like 70 million subscribers. And I do know kind of what happened. You know, HBO, I think their Now app used to have like 40 million subscribers, but they decided they want to consolidate everything onto HBO Max, and they had fights with Amazon, and HBO Max is, the app is now on Amazon, it's now on the Amazon Fire ecosystem, Fire Cube, Fire Stick, Fire devices, Fire tablets. Then they also had a fight with Roku, and Roku has like almost everybody who's streaming has a Roku. And it was just, it wasn't a good idea. They have like something like 9 million subscribers, which is somewhere along the lines of what CBS has, CBS All Access. and they're thinking of, I think they're going to, get rid of or rebrand CBS All Access because it's not doing well. So because of this, they're doing this like Hail Mary pass, and they're putting everything, absolutely everything, into HBO Max. And they're destroying the comic industry. They're laying people off with DC. I think they're just gonna get rid of DC, which is going to destroy the comic industry, from what I've read and what I've seen with other people's videos. So they're destroying the comic book industry. They're destroying theaters. It's just destruction. It's almost like 3D. Just destruction everywhere, in hopes that they can, make HBO Max big, huge. And what we have to worry about, and there's worse things to worry about in the world, but as physical media collectors, we have to worry that Wonder Woman 1984. Okay, great. You have, you should have brought it up. I have it downstairs. Wonder Woman 1984. Maybe you won't be able to get a physical release of that. They might do a physical release. They're laying off people who were in charge of very profitable physical media lines. So what's going to happen, right? Are we going to get physical releases? What's going to happen with all these other streaming services, like Disney Plus? They're already saying the future of movie and TV is streaming. And I'm not against streaming, but I like choice. I like to have a physical copy that I can keep. They can't be altered. That's mine, and that has a physical presence. And I will make a prediction though with, and I might be totally off base here because I don't really have the knowledge to make this prediction, but I'm going to make it anyway. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I admit it, right? But here's what I think is going to happen. I think Disney Plus, if they have enough movies, they're going to do the same thing in 2021, or unless they're going to wait. But I think they're going to shove a whole bunch of movies for free instead of charging you $30 for Mulan. They're going to throw a whole bunch of stuff in, and they're either going to keep the price the same. I don't think so. I think they're going to have another tier. I think they're going to have a $15 tier, and they're going to say you can have these other movies, so that they can compete. Because after HBO announced this, there was an emergency meeting at Disney, from what I hear. And so I'm sure that they're trying to decide how they're going to handle this. So anyway, that is kind of getting you up to date on what's going on there. And it relates to those of us who like physical media, because we don't know what's going to happen. And, as Warner moves in one direction, these other companies might move in the same direction. So it'll be interesting. We're living in interesting times. Okay, so you're really here for like some dollar store finds. I don't want to make this a very long episode, so I've had some. I've also bought some Black Friday, Cyber Monday, whatever, Prime Day type videos, and I'll get to those. So I'll tell you what I picked up. I've gone to some other Dollar Trees, and the last one that I went to, it was huge. I'll talk to you about those. I'll talk to you about some of the stuff I watched as well. But I picked up, I think it's Bunraku. Okay, and this has, it has Woody Harrelson, it has Ron Perlman as Demi Moore. So I don't know anything about this film, but it looked interesting. So for $1, I figured I'd grab it. So you might be able to find that out there. Now I grabbed Red Sonja, and I grabbed Red Sonja because, of course, Red Sonja was created by Roy Thomas from Marvel Comics, based upon, I think, a pirate character from Robert E. Howard. And he ended up using the name and taking the character and putting it into the Hyborian Age and making him part of Conan. So I, kind of came of age reading Red Sonja. Now, what I didn't realize is this is a motion comic. So it's not really, a cartoon. It is, it is a comic book, and they like pan over the panels, I guess, and they do have some voice acting, and so I don't know. It was $1, so I'm gonna wait on that one. So yeah. El Gringo on DVD. I grabbed El Gringo for a reason. The main reason is Scott Adkins. Right? I like Scott Adkins in the Undisputed series, the Ninja series, some of his other movies. He's a great martial artist. Some movies can be hit or miss. I don't know about this one. I think this one was up on Netflix. But I figured I'd grab a physical copy of it. DVD. And I also grabbed The Signal. This was around before. Matter of fact, this was like a reticular cover that I didn't grab. But, I noticed that the guy who played General Zod in Man of Steel is on here. So I figured it'd be kind of interesting to check him out in this role. There was something else I was going to do, and I totally forgot about it. We'll see if we can get to it. So at another dollar store, I finally found Superman 3. And I couldn't help but grab the original Superman on DVD. So this is a canon classic, right? And then you have part 2. And I'm more of a Man of Steel fan. I used to have Superman 2, the Donner cut. I used to have that on HD DVD, but I got rid of my HD DVD player and I got rid of all the discs with it. So it was before I was really into collecting. But I figured for $1 I would grab both of these. And I can't remember. I never went to see this movie in the theater. I know I've seen it. And part 2, I know I saw part 1 in the theater. Well, did I? I think I saw part 1 in the theater, unless it was just on TV. It's hard for me to remember with these. I do like a darker superhero film, though. I just dropped. I don't want to forget this one. Don't want to forget. I grabbed Ip Man Season 1 because it's Ip Man, and it's a full season for $1. And I didn't see. I used JustWatch.com or their app, and I couldn't find it listed anywhere, so I figured I'd grab it. It might be interesting. I love martial arts stuff, so. And then a double feature of The Losers and Rock and Roller. Guy Ritchie film, so I figured I'd pick that up. I know, actually, speaking of Heath from Serial Midnight, he was talking about Guy Ritchie, and I said, Guy Ritchie film. I'm like, I'll pick this up. Then, okay, I'll talk about this quickly. So this is a movie that I actually watched. I picked this up. My wife was in the mood for horror, so we decided to watch The Midnight Man. Now, what's interesting about this, and here's a tip, Scream Factory. See, I wasn't looking with DVDs. Sometimes the Dollar Tree has Scream Factory titles, and you can find them on the spine. So I was looking, and I found one. And it was this Midnight Man. And the cool thing is there's reverse cover art. That was the cover art that was there. I reversed it because I just think this looks better. This looks more like an actual film, whereas this cover, I'm not going to take it out right now, but this cover just seemed to make it look kind of cheap. And the movie is kind of cheap, but it doesn't really look that cheap. It looks pretty decent, and the cinematography is great. The cinematography is excellent in this. What's the problem with this movie? It's dull. I mean, the acting's fine. Robert Englund is in this, and he's okay. He's fine. It's a wasted opportunity for him playing a character. I'll go into that in a second. Lynn Shay is in this, and who's part of it's the Insidious series, who is wonderful in those, and she also played a teacher in the original Nightmare on Elm Street, but became very well known within the horror community, the horror, at least film community, for this movie, for the Insidious series. So, so I said, well, Lynn Shay and Robert Englund, I'll pick it up. What's the problem with this film? The problem with this film is the same problem you get from a lot of modern movies today. I actually streamed on HBO Max. I streamed Underwater with, what's her name? The main female character from Twilight, or actress, right? Actress from Twilight. I just can't think of her name. You know who I'm talking about anyway. And it's the same problem with that movie. So it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. The problem I see, story-wise, as a writer, right? As a published writer who has been paid for, yeah. What I think is wrong about the storyline, the script, is all the characters. There's no internal conflict within the group. Now, I'm not going to give you any spoilers, so if you pick this up for $1, I mean, it's worth a watch. You could watch worse. It's not bad. But there's really no internal conflict as I remember watching it. There's conflict versus the Midnight Man. But everybody in the group, there are no traitors, there's no jealousy, there's no conflicting interests, there's no, I want to do this, no, you go do that, I'm going to go do this type of thing. There's one character that they don't even utilize. They don't even kill this character off. He's there. And then you have Robert Englund, and he comes in as, he's a doctor in this, and he's making a house call, and she has money, so, he makes a house call, but they look like they're from another time. I mean, it doesn't, there are some things in here that really don't quite make sense. Lynn Shay is fine in this for what they gave her, for lines to read. Her character's very muddled. We never know really what's going on with her character. And you can make a decision as to what her character's doing, and so that is a big problem, I think, with some modern movies I've seen lately, is that all the characters get along. There's no conflict. The only conflict is the external conflict with whatever monster it is, the other that must be stopped. And I think that's hampering things. With Underwater, it's the same thing. And with Underwater, they decide to focus on the woman from Twilight, because she's a name actor, and to have her character and to have the strong female character, and that's fine. But what they need to do is do a character arc with that character and have her start out maybe being not as not having the abilities, not having the leadership skills, and then she has to grow into that, kind of like a Spider-Man, right? Have to learn through a period of time. And I think the real story with Underwater, as I see it, really came with the captain. So if you watch that, there's a lot of things that could have been done if they had gotten somebody. I mean, I'm not going to say Bruce Willis, but if they had gotten like a Bruce Willis, and we have the woman from Twilight. I wish I could remember her name. I hate to call her the woman from Twilight. Call her the woman from Twilight, right? And we have her being, let's say, a surrogate daughter who's being kind of mentored, and then I think that would have been a better way to go with that. But anyway, I didn't plan on doing a review of Underwater, so I won't go too far into that. I did pick this up. I said this before in the last video, Jackie Chan's First Strike. And I think I've seen this movie. I remembered enough of it that I watched it at one point. And what it's great for is Jackie Chan. If you like to watch Jackie Chan do his thing, perfect movie. The rest of the movie, right, it's not very good. But Jackie Chan doing his thing, and then of course the ending credits, that's always good. So that's, I mean, it's worth it all. Now, I didn't watch this movie yet, Horrible Bosses 2, but I did, and I picked this up the last time, I did stream Horrible Bosses 1. We hadn't seen it on HBO. And it was fine. It's certainly a lot of these films today, you know, you couldn't do Horrible Bosses today, I don't think. And it has some really funny moments and a lot of just kind of, you know, not so, you know, it's fine. It's watchable. I think it's pretty mediocre. Now there's an extended version, and I didn't realize that we had that available. I know it'll look now. On HBO Max, it's just underneath, they're like in extras, and it's like extended version. I'm like, I don't know if I'd want to see more of that movie. But they also had kind of, you know, interestingly enough, they have, you know, a blooper reel, kind of like the Jackie Chan stuff at the end. And that was funnier than the movie. And it looks like they, you know, all the actors there, you know, Jennifer Aniston, and there's a whole bunch of other people, Jason Bateman, and all of these people, what's his name? Why can't I think of his name? I did this the last time. I see his, Jamie Foxx. Right. They all did, you know, a great job at what they were doing with what they had to work with. And I love Jamie Foxx's character. He's got a great character. And he's back in this one. So I'm definitely going to watch it. And this is the extended cut, and I'll probably watch I don't know if it has the theatrical or not, but I'll definitely watch it. So that'll be fun. So I did watch a couple movies. Well, I've been talking for a while now, and hopefully not boring you. So I'm going to stop here. And I want to thank you for watching the channel. Hope you can get out and get some more dollar store, Dollar Tree movies. I think there's still a lot out there to be had and to be found, and especially on the East Coast, I think they just pretty much came out with some of these boxes in some of these stores. So thank you very much. I'm going to finish my coffee. Let's see. Oh, it's cooling off. It's cooling off a little bit, but anyway, that's it. So if you like content like this, smash the like button. Is that what they say? Smash the like button. Hit the notification bell. Subscribe. And I will see you here on the next one. All right.